What is the creepiest thing that's happened to you? One time in a public toilet, the person in the cubicle next to me stuck his head under and looked up at me. I didn't really know what to do, so I just got the FK out of there. Someone threw a fkin bionicle at me while I was in the public bathroom at a Walmart. You should have taken it. Was it in the package or was it assembled? FK, I'd use public toilets more often if I'd get a bionicle out of it. I was at a church girls' camp the summer I was 17. I was a youth leader, so I, along with 6 other girls, arrived the night before the main campers. We naturally chose the cabin furthest back from the adult leader's cabin to sleep in. These old wooden, drafty cabins had log walls, 4 bunk beds, and a mesh screen door with no latch. That night, I was the last one to fall asleep. I woke up randomly at 1 a.m., looked at the door, and saw the shadow of someone standing directly outside the door. I heard a faint knock, but was too petrified to move. After a few seconds, the shadow moved away. I never fell back asleep. The next morning, I checked with all the adult leaders. They had done final rounds at 10 p.m. and had all fallen asleep after that. We were nowhere near the trail to the bathrooms, and there was no one else on site except the girls in my cabin and the adult leaders. I tried to brush it off, convincing myself I was imagining things in my sleepiness, and mostly succeeded, until later that night one of the other youth leaders in my cabin piped up and said, "Did anyone else see someone standing outside our door last night?" We slept in a different cabin that night. Goosebumps. Yeah, I got them. My room was on the bottom floor at the front of the house. I was asleep and it was the summer, so I had the window open. I got woken up at like 7 a.m. by the distinct sound of something walking over the stones and pebbles we have in our front garden. A little unnerved, I just put it down to a cat walking over them. About 5 minutes later, while trying to get back to sleep, I was woken up by some saying, "Excuse me." I opened my eyes, and as my bed is up against the window, I see the woman's face about a foot away from mine, leaning in through the window. She said she was locked out and if I could help her, so I thought, WTF, okay, let me get dressed. I head out the door and she's standing there smiling and kept saying, "Oh, you're helping me, it's like you are my son," which really creeped me out. So I asked her where she lived and she pointed to my neighbor's house. I instantly thought this isn't right, so I told her, "I know the people that live there, you don't live there." So she turned and pointed to the neighbors on the other side of my house and said it was that one. I said, "No, you don't live there, I don't think you live on this road, so I'm not going to help you." I went back inside, shut my window and felt horrified. The image of her face right next to mine after opening my eyes is imprinted with me. Never slept with the window open ever again after that. TL, Dr. Crazy Lady leaned through my window and woke me up asking for help, scared me shitless. I was woken up by the sound of someone breaking my bedroom door down. I wear contacts and didn't have them in, but I saw the door bust open and a human was there, and then ran off. I got out of bed, saw my apartment door had been broken down as well, and then discovered the phone lines had been cut. FK that. Your phone lines were cut? That MF was gonna murder you. Okay, this is a long one and happened about 14 months ago now, but I feel like it belongs here. I work in health information at a hospital. And some of our record archives are underneath one of the wards, and the only entry is through a shady red door at the back of the building. I'd been down there a heap of times before and it's definitely got a creepy vibe, but I surely wasn't scared and nothing freaky had happened. Yet. One day I had to go retrieve some files from down there, so I go about my business and unlock the red door. In my first few visits down there, I had found a brick to rest against the door to keep it wide open while I was in there, just for peace of mind I guess. I chalked the brick tightly to keep the door open and walked into the archives. I'd switched on the corridor light and I noticed it was really cold, like colder than usual, but still I walked to the record room I needed. I turned on the light to this room and it flickered a fair few times, and in between the flickers I saw a black silhouette opposite me in the room. I was legit stuck in shock. The light was now on and there was nothing there, I was shaking like a chihuahua at this point, but I went to the shelves to get the files I needed, and then I heard the slam. I froze again, and realized that had to be the door. It slammed again. Like it was flapping in the wind or something, but it was a warm summer day outside. I grabbed the files, ran out of the room to the corridor and saw the door open. I fucking legged it to the door the fastest I'd ever run in my life and got out of there. I went to lock the door and the brick wasn't there. It wasn't even near the door. It was gone. I went back to my department and went into the bathroom and cried after that. It was so scary. Let's just say it was a long time before I went back to the secondary archives on my own. I forgot that the door to the toilet on the second floor on my house doesn't properly fit the frame and slides open easily. One day when I was home alone, it got really windy and the small window in the toilet was open. The door to the toilet started to move around in the frame and slam open. I almost shat my pants tbh. Well, sounds like you were at the perfect place to do so. Nah, I was on the first floor watching creepy ghost story videos on my laptop. Not a great idea. I work in an assisted living facility. This is important. I work night shift, by myself most nights. I had a few residents away, out at the hospital. They each have a pendant that alerts me when they need assistance, and a bathroom alarm when they are stuck in the bathroom. You have to pull down the alarm in the bathroom to get it to work, won't work otherwise. Here's where it gets fucky. I hear the bathroom alarm go off, check the room number, and verify who it is. Resident is in the hospital. It's 1:30 a.m. The idea someone is fucking with me is slim to none, all of them are asleep. So I muster up my little amount of bravery to shut the damn alarm off, because I can't let it go all night. I'll be in trouble. Go into the room. Lights are off. Turn on lights. This fucking resident had wall-to-fucking-wall dolls, guys. Wall-to-wall. Facing the door. Looking at me. Watching me. I step into the bathroom, shut off the alarm, and slowly creep back out. I worked maintenance for multiple nursing homes for 5+ years. Those call boxes go off randomly. Not often, but they do. Especially the ones in the bathroom, since they're exposed to more moisture in the air and that can mess with the electronics. Nurses used to call the on-call phone at 3 a.m. Common to have me come in because they were too scared to go into the empty room where the bathroom alarm went off. Can't explain the dolls though. 20th year. I was an Asian tourist in Barcelona, had beer and chips while overlooking the city with one of my best friends. We parted ways by 11:30 p.m., and on the way back to my hotel I made eye contact with a man in passing. After a few minutes, I could feel a chill behind my neck, and there he was, following me. When I arrived at a crosswalk I had to stop and wait, and he asked for my name, details, if I wanted to go out for dinner. I was just ignoring him, stuttering and pretending I didn't speak English or Spanish, and my knees were shivering in so much fear. I kept telling him to go away, and he would, but he kept appearing every street I turned. He tailed me, and I was so scared to make a wrong turn to a dark alley. Luckily I came across a group of Spanish aunties and asked them for help because a man was following me. Then I ran to my hotel without stopping.